Hello and welcome to Try Your Hand. I'm Brenda from the Antioch District Library. I work in the YA department, and for today's Try Your Hand, we are going to be making some DIY lip balms. These are actually really great and awesome for your lips. I've been using mine for a little while now, and it's been awesome. So, why don't we get right into it? For the supplies, like usual, we have a kit for you guys to pick up if you've signed up for the program. Though if you have not signed up, that's fine. You can just find these ingredients and make them yourself. So, in the kit, right now we have some labels for you to put on your tubes of lip balm. We also have some beeswax. It's a tablespoon's worth. We also have a tablespoon's worth of shea butter and a tablespoon of coconut oil. We also have about a fourth of a teaspoon of mica powder and 15 drops worth of flavoring. So the flavoring that we have is peppermint, bubblegum, and cotton candy. So for the first thing that we need to do is to put our beeswax in a microwave safe bowl. I have this little measuring cup which work perfectly fine. So once we have it in our little cup, we want to put that beeswax in the microwave for 30 seconds. The directions for this is to put the beeswax in there for 30-second increments. So every 30 seconds, you want to put your beeswax in, take it out of the microwave once it's done, and then mix the beeswax in until it starts kind of melting a little bit. Once you know you're almost done, it's when it gets to this kind of clumpy consistency. And then it should melt down to liquid once it's finished. So a lot of the times when you mix, it helps it to gain that liquidy texture. So your liquid should be a pale yellow. So now that the beeswax is all mixed in, the next thing that you need to do is to mix up the shea butter and the coconut oil in with the beeswax. So you then take your little cup of shea butter and your little cup of coconut oil and you dump it inside of your microwave bowl. So we will mix that again and then also we put it in the microwave again in 30-second increments until it's all melted. You want to be careful with this because it will get hot. So if you have a pot holder or something like that handy, it's best to use that because you don't want to be burning your hands. All right, so now that our stuff is all melted here, we can now start putting in the fun parts of the ingredients, the flavoring and the color. So, like I said previously, the flavoring of your that we have given you is in a pipette. The pipette has a little plug at the end made of hot glue. So what you want to do is just take that pipette and kind of peel the glue off of the tip. Once you have done that, you want to put 15 drops of the flavoring into your oil and wax mixture. So that should be pretty much the entire pipette, but if you want to count, it's 15. Then we put in our mica powder. So we have measured out all the mica powder here for you. This measurement gives a little bit of color, a little bit of like a pink color, but it's not very opaque. So you are able to kind of see through it. I'll show you a little bit later what it looked like against my skin. So once we have put in those two ingredients, then we will start mixing. We do want to do this generally pretty quickly because the mixture does harden quite fast. So you just want to mix and have your tubes ready to pour into the mixture. We do have some little funnels that we have given you, and you can use that if you want to. I didn't because my little container had a spout, but if you have shaky hands or something, you can use the little funnel and that should help you out. Just make sure that the tube itself is all the way down before you start pouring. And when you do pour, you want to make sure that you're pouring to the very, very, very top of your tube because as the mixture cools down and hardens, it does kind of sink in a little bit. In this mixture, it did turn out that it filled 4 of my tubes fully, and then the last tube, I only got like a half fill. That half fill at that point was starting to harden. a little bit, so it didn't quite turn out that great. But, you know, you do get 4 lip balms out of this recipe. Now that we are done pouring, we can then let the tubes of our chapstick cool off. As they cool, you can start to see them start to sink. Once it's all sunken in and you can see the little hole in the middle where the little thing that helps it turn up is, once that you see that hole, you know that it's done cooling off. After that, you can just put your caps on and then you can start putting your labels on. If you're curious as to what the chapstick looks like, I did kind of rub it on my own skin here, so that you can see the color. It is a very, very light pink. When I put it on my hand, because my hands are quite red, you could barely even see it. But once I put it on like the underside of my wrist, you can start to see the color that's in there. So it is a very minute. Once you're done, you can start putting on your labels. Some of these labels have little places where you can write down the name of your chapstick, or you know, if you want to gift them, you can put the name of whoever it is that you decide to give these to. It is a sticker, so you can just kind of peel it off and then stick it onto the tube. And once you do that, you are done with this project. I hope you guys had a whole bunch of fun making these chapsticks with us. I know I certainly did. Why don't you guys join us for next month's Try Your Hand? We will be making a macrame plant holder. So if you are interested in doing that, don't forget to sign up for this program. Our links will be in the description of the YouTube video. So you can just look down there and click on the link, and then from there you'll be able to sign up to that program. We do have kits for you, just like we did this month, for you to pick up. I know that Carol will actually be the one in charge of the macrame plant holder, so I'm super excited about that. Thank you very much for signing up to this program, and we will see you next time.